Okay, here we are. We're back again. We've got a bit of a treat. We've got Kvoth versus Recon. They're both playing some scrims at the moment, and Kavoth is streaming them. And I just asked if I could hop in and cast one of them, so he changed it to allow spectators. So thank you very much to Kavoth there. So he's playing Gaia versus Set. Now, I was just watching Twitch on my TV downstairs, had a bit of a coffee, and I was like, I need to maybe watch some of these games and cast them so other people can see them too. And I think Kvoth is probably one of the best Gaia players there are, and he does some crazy things with the Caladria micro and things like that. And then Recon, he came second in the most recent tournament, and actually Kavoth came fourth. So these are two of the top 4 players that are currently playing. And we are seeing Set versus Gaia on the map Bamboo Grove. Bamboo Grove is one of these new maps. And I think I said it the last time, I still don't really know how to play it, whether it's second town center worthy or not. Because we see these middle town centers, they technically somewhat defend these gold mines back here, but it's a little bit awkward. Sometimes the gold mines do spawn decently close, like we can see this one. It's not really in range, but the gold mines are just so far out. And then the middle is normally pretty open. So we actually see here that the gold mines that are in the middle, if you could get some sort of palace or Migdal stronghold put up in the middle, you could really secure yourself a couple of gold mines. And I mean, look how close they are to Recon starting gold there. And we'll see what these guys decide to go for. So it looks like I need to swap these guys around, so sorry about that. Set is going in with the early pickaxe, pretty standard build. If you want to copy this, just go on the bamboo tree for 20 wood, which is 2 drop-offs, so you can just put them on a straggler tree. Once they drop off once, you can just put them onto something else. And then for Isis, you can just do that once, because it only costs 108 wood for her. So you can actually just get the 8 wood. It looks like the Set priest here was trying to steal some of Kavoth's spores, and he's like, nope, we're not going to let that happen. It doesn't matter that the citizens getting this low, because I believe Kavoth will go and get the Caladria as he gets up to the next stage. Heal this bad boy back up to full health, so not a problem. Also see what the sort of scouting situation is. I always find it really interesting to see what the Atlantean players see. So it looks like what Kavoth does is send one to the corner and then slowly move forward, and then 2 more forward. I think it's definitely a good shout. It looks like also the guy Lush, actually, with how the mana's placed, will actually heal this guy up. So really nice play. Unfortunately, you can't see how much these are actually converted, so it's just something you're just going to have to know. And yeah, that was what I thought. Like, you don't know how much it is. There's no bar, and it looks like Recon's priest does manage to get the value there and then waste a bit of the citizens' time. So I'm unfortunate there, not knowing the timing. And then we'll actually see what the priest sees. Now, this is Set scouting for you. You've been able to find everything. This gold mine is actually pretty close to this settlement. Maybe it's not bad, but I mean, I still think it's bait taking the back town centers. I've played one of these games where I took the back town center because it had a gold mine like this. And I thought, oh, absolutely perfect. And then I just got rushed down by, I think it was Aranos, and I just got wrecked. So I don't know whether that is the play. And we do see Anubis is coming through for Recon. I really like the Anubis and Spearman raids against the Atlanteans. I think it can be very strong. The only thing is you do have to watch out for the Caladria. But if you have a decent amount of Anubites, they can still get the job done. You just can't send one forward. Basically, normally, if you're playing against someone like Greek, you would just send that one Anubite forward to get a bit of a raid off. You really can't do that, because it will just get slowed down and die to one hero Mamilo. But do see a decent amount of boars here, so whether or not it's going to be some early aggression or just use these for the food. It looks like he's healing them up, so he wants to use them for the early aggression. They only have 0.6 attack right now, but as soon as we get up to the next stage, it's going to go 7, something like that, isn't it? 6. Well, that's close. We get more Anubites in. How many monuments? I only see the 1 monument, though. It looks like Recon is going for a second town center. You can see that by the 10 on gold. Pretty standard. If you want a second town center, it's around 10 on gold. But second town center with a bit of early pressure. He's got a second priest out. Something very good to do. Hero citizens are on the front, though, and they're very tanky up against those myth units. You see that these only do half damage to heroes. So good awareness from Kvoth there to leave the hero on the front. Also trying to get as much value out of this food while he can. As we said, Carnivora, Caladria coming forward. Military barracks is always going to be the play here. If you go through Oceanus, you want to get the barracks up to get those Mamillos, because the Mamillos have, you get a bite of the shark poison damage situation. Looks like there's more than enough to get a town center. So that is where Recon will go. Interesting he didn't go straight there. Wanted to just wait a little bit and have a bit more gold in the bank with mining with his however many 13 gold miners, rather than just going as soon as he gets 550. Hero Oracle trying to get this relic. We haven't actually spotted the relics yet, so what are we seeing? Human soldiers, pierce vulnerability minus 5%, always pretty good. When we've got building damage plus 20%. Make sure there's nothing crazy happening over here while we're looking at some relics. Armory, gold research, minus 50% gold is actually pretty good, and it looks like one will be in the temple. Which maybe we can find. And we have a food trickle rate. It's not the most, but I mean, it's free, isn't it? So why not? We also do see the heroes out. It looks like there could be a snipe on this Oracle. Caladria, Carnivora, Caladria, that's the one. Not in the right position, but absolutely fine. These 2 heroes or 3 heroes coming forward is more than enough to fend off this position, and Recon gets his town center. I mean, that was the point of this, is to just get a little bit of harass and get that second town center. Now we'll see from Kavoth's point of view that he will probably spot this right now, spots it straight away, so he knows that he is playing up against 2 town centers. So what can you do? You can go for your own second town center, this back one if you really want to, or you can go for a forward one because you know that his army is over here. He wouldn't have the resources to build loads of army right now because you'd have to get loads of barracks out and whatever. You can see that Recon's actually just training the one, so he's probably got the 1 barracks up. So there's only a small army, and Kavoth could have had a larger army at this point if he wanted to go for that forward town center, but it looks like he's going for the 1 town center play, maybe with some more eco upgrades if that is the choice. Something that only Gaia can do is get those early eco upgrades, normally just in the heroic age there, but Gaia's special. A little bit of a raid. Terma raids don't really do too much in terms of actual damage, just because they just don't deal much. You need so many of them to actually raid effectively, but it's more just to stop the Pharaoh empowering there, and a bit of idle time. Some all-out aggression going on the temple here. Looks like there's a decent amount of priests out, but nicely fended off by the Mamillo there. Caladria trying to avoid it and does very well. She has 5 speed, so it's very hard to actually hit the flying myth units there. If you can just get a second one up, also you can just burst heal her up and be absolutely fine. Looks like more priests are on the way, and the temple is definitely going to be going down. Even with all these repairing it, you can see that it is definitely going down. So Kvoth has broken the base, and he is on the aggro here. Carnivora did its job, so it doesn't really matter that that one's gone down. Securing a second gold mine very early on. Is this mainly for the Gaia Lush, just to get this healing operation in? I imagine that is the case, but nice use of serpents. Serpents are normally used to just to deny an area rather than anything else. They don't do too much damage, but you can see that the villagers do terrible damage actually against them. So the citizen is shanking the priest rather than these, which is a good shout. It takes so long to actually take them out. Big fight here. The 1 town center player should win, but most of them are fighting the serpents there. Looks like Kavoth needs to turn around and fight that. Also, some of these guys getting caught on the gold mine couldn't actually run away from the axeman there, unfortunately. Counter units there of the axeman coming in clutch. The Terma do decent against them. They only have 5% pierce armor, so Terma are a decent choice. Would be even better to see some Caraballister out. We did see one, but nicely targeted down from Recon there. And I think Recon is defending this 2-town center advantage very, very well. We can see that he is just pulling ahead in the villager numbers here. And it's up to Kavoth to put a bit more pressure on now. He's also here. He is getting the outside hunt, which is very, very nice. Yeah, just need to take down these serpents. I think this definitely was up for the Gaia Lush. If you can fight on the Gaia Lush, it's just like getting a little bit of healing in. I don't think it's very much. What is it? It's just going to be 1 every 2 seconds or 1 every 1 second, something like that. But the value is definitely coming in here. Looks like Recon wants to go up to the next stage, just judging by his eco there. I imagine he's got an armory up or a market. Market is up. And he's going through Sekhmet. Sekhmet makes sense because those slingers will get slings of the sun, which will make them good against the Mamillo. And this is exactly what I was saying. If you get a decent amount of Termas out, they are very strong raiders, but you need a good amount there. And it gets 3 swift kills. Also moving on to this gold mining operation here. We'll see what Recon can see. He is bringing around his whole army. The Terma do have 5 speed though. They should be able to get out. Then we'll just see the reaction speed of the Gaia player Kvoth here, and then just get straight out of there. Get so many villager kills, basically bringing it back to even. Only 2 in the advantage of the player that's had a second town center for 5 minutes. So very, very nice. Brings him swiftly back into the game here. Also might be able to get some stragglers on the way out. Oh, unfortunately misses that one there. No ballistics in. Terma drunk. But nothing is as quick as the Terma or the Anubi's exactly the same speed. So Terma can run away for days. Thea pre-queued. Raya pre-queued. Traitor will be the choice there. And also she has some very, very strong upgrades. And I've been told off by the way that I say it, but it is the male, which gives you more hack armor now. I need to learn how to say that one. But that's a very, very strong upgrade. So if you're going for the Mamillo, it gets them 15% extra hack armor, which is just absolutely ridiculous. It goes up to something like 55. It might not be exactly, but it's very, very strong. Looks like Recon is still going in with the pure barracks army here. Need to bring his perspective back into play. Not got any upgrades for any of his units though. Just going in with Axeman Slinger. Makes sense. Axeman to counter the Mamillo. Slinger to counter the Terma. Nubite's unupgraded too. Is getting Serpent Spear, which is the nice poison damage to do something like the Mamillo with their poison damage, which actually Kavoth hasn't actually got, interestingly enough. I mean, he hasn't got many Mamillos. It kind of makes sense that don't want to waste that one. Unfortunately, a bit of a misclick there. And that means that Kavoth needs to run away. All these are low HP, but if they sit on the Gaia Lush, they'll be absolutely fine. And they are very good defenders, being archers. Look how many low HP ones there are. Trying to snipe some slingers and then run away. Not losing any of these Terma either. Behemoth comes in as a bit of a tank. Also takes the Scarab straight away. And the Scarab splash damage is absolutely huge. If he can get a decent amount... unfortunately, he doesn't even have time to bring it into the radius. But if you actually delete that one there, you can get some decent damage off. Probably not worth deleting, but when it dies anyway. Priest's not really getting much value here, aside from the Behemoth. Obviously, the Behemoth got absolutely sniped because these guys do divine damage. But when the Myth units are down, they don't really do too much with their 1 Pierce armor against the pure Pierce units. But in come the Cantarius, which is why Recon got the upgrade for those Spearmen there to actually counter these guys. It's normally the Gaia game plan is to go into the heavy Cantarius. They're very, very strong. Even if you don't go through Thea to get the extra upgrades, they're just strong anyway. The Spearmen also do a little bit of bonus damage versus the Terma there too. Also see the walls coming up here. Very, very defensive. Securing the gold mines for Recon, the set player there. And then you imagine that the citizens could actually do the same this side. Something that, coming from the old game, citizens used to be worth 3. So the Gaia players never used to wall up. But now they're worth 2 villagers, so it is just worth just whacking a wall up here, especially on this sort of map. Very, very defensive. The hit and runs have kind of stopped, but there's just such an overwhelmingly amount of Terma here. There's just so many. Even worth just investing in some heavy Terma, to be honest, just to get some more DPS. Also, we see Quarry coming through, so this is the Mythic Age gold upgrade. So this is what we're saying about the Gaia. Even though she's on the 1 town center, behind in villages, being able to snipe the enemy villagers and getting extra upgrades in, also getting 2 behemoths, wants to take down this town center, and the economic guild comes in to spread that lush even more, to heal up the units everywhere. And this is why I wanted to watch this game. I don't think anyone plays Gaia like Kavoth does. I think he's just such an interesting Gaia player. And now this army is so fast, especially on this Gaia Lush. 6.6 speed, 5.8 speed on the Gaia Lush. Don't have any heroes here, but the heroes are slightly faster for the Terma as well. Absolutely disgusting. We do see Recon, though, does manage to secure a Migdal stronghold here, but the behemoths are in. They could go for this side, but I think he's going to be going for the town center because there's nothing really defending it, and will heal up as well. He heals up exactly what the town center does to it. Basically stays full HP. Decent army here, but the Terma can just run away from those spearmen. We just need to make sure that Kavoth's paying attention. Absolutely is. This town center will be going down, but he has got a lot of value from it. Behemoth, unfortunately, the priests, yeah. The priests are just here just in case the behemoths want to come out. And even though they have 75% pierce armor, it just doesn't matter with the divine damage of those priests there. Antarius will get melted though, so do need to run away. Terma in box formation too, just so there's less surface area to actually be hit by. Unfortunately, misclicks just past that wooden gate because he didn't know it was there. And then these spearmen are very low though. We'll be able to turn and burn them. Slingers in. Looks like Kavoth's Terma are caught out slightly. Antarius trying to get rid of the reinforcements so that the Terma can actually escape. And doing that somewhat nicely. Recon wants his town center back though. It's like a little raid coming this side to stop the wall. One unit raids. Very, very scary. Not scary, very, very annoying. Opposite of scary. Very annoying. And that's it. He's just going to come and annoy those laborers. Especially when you get heavy. If you get heavy Kantarius, they can't even turn around and actually hit them unless you're Ra villagers. It's very, very annoying. Looks like Recon, though, having the 2TC eco does have a lot more military units than the guy here. Yeah. Recon not actually paying attention to it. So, bit of value coming through. And Kavoth says he is too far behind. He did manage to take that town center down, but it went straight back up. And well defended by Recon here. Really, really well played game by the set as the defender, just going with the pure barracks units into a bit of camels to deal with the Terma and the Kantarius there. But if you want to see more from these guys, I'll link their Twitch streams. They stream quite often. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Luckily enough for us, these guys want to play more games, and I'm more than happy with that one. So this is Kavoth in the blue. He's playing Nuwa, one of the Chinese gods, and Recon is playing Loki. I don't know how many games they've actually played before. I've started watching, but it's a treat to watch these guys play. So we're going to watch some more. So we see Kavoth going in with Nuwa, probably the most defensive of the Chinese gods, which definitely makes sense for Kavoth's playstyle there. And it looks like he's doing the classic: get enough gold to get the temple down, then move over to the wood, drop your temple down, then everything to food, and then you'll be able to get out your hero Kvoth there, and that is normally the play. He's also using the special benefit for Nuwa that your buildings, when it's inside the yellow circles here, when it's inside the favored land, they actually build themselves. They build themselves very slow now. It was nerfed since the first patch, but if you just do these right on the edge of the circle, then you gain this extra little bit of favor, and that makes your hero Kvoth come out slightly earlier. So it is definitely the play if you want to play Nuwa. This is the best build order currently being used. So I would definitely copy that one. And then Recon going in with Loki. Now it is interesting that during the final day of the tournament, the most recent tournament, Loki wasn't really picked at all. And Loki before this was seen as one of the strongest gods. And now it seems that some of the top players have just decided that Loki isn't worth it. Maybe it's since the Chinese have actually come out, and maybe he doesn't have a good matchup into the Chinese. Also, some of the Atlanteans have been buffed with the Gaia and Kronos getting their rare bonuses. And then they get the extra hack armor with the extra upgrades. Maybe that isn't good for Loki. So we will see how he manages to go into Nuwa here. Looks like he's just doing kind of... No, he's not doing a standard build. He's going pickaxe and hand axe in the archaic age. Now, something that you can do for free, basically, if you only need to build one extra ox cart, like Recon has done here, then you can get pickaxe for free, basically. So hand axe, you can buy. It would just push your advance time a little bit further. But playing against Nuwa, unless the Nuwa is going for some kind of tower rush, which you can do if you want to drop your creation peasants down and then put up a barracks and then attach the tower to it. You can do some kind of tower rush, but I don't think that's going to be Kavoth's playstyle here. He's normally more of the macro eco player, So I wouldn't expect that from him, although he does get an early advance time, but that is just kind of the standard Chinese game plan, especially if he wants to go for a second town center, which it looks like 255 with the Quafus here. It looks like that is going to be the play. Look how fast this guy gathers, 3.83 compared to just a normal one, 0.68. This guy is absolute beast. So we do see the spy coming down also. So spy coming down for Recon here, so he can see if Kavoth decides to go for another town center. Interesting to see it not on the hero Quafu. It's probably just because it was too early to actually get that guy. But he's probably the one to go for because he's going to be the one that builds all the town centers, that expands out. But I mean, he'll be able to see when those guys go anyway. Looks like Kvoth has decided to go through how to, gets the Chongqi out, gets a second one coming out actually. So not going for a super early town center. Creation coming in. Why do I not see where that is? Creation coming through just to get some extra food eco. To not try and get more Chongqis out, just trying to get more eco out. And the Chongqi is going to be very, very annoying against the Norse player because they don't have a ranged hero, and these guys are very tanky, especially if he can get two of them coming, which he absolutely does, gets the Pioneers out. Unfortunately, not paying attention to this one. The Hersa is getting a decent amount of wax off. The Hersa does have to run away. He was actually deciding to do that one because Recon is decided for a very, very late second age. So what the Chongqi is doing is just saying, well, if you don't advance, then I'm just going to take you out. Sacrificing a lot of HP there, but does manage to force him off of the gold mine. Healing Spring in, so the Hersa will eventually get up in HP. Going in with the Fire Archers, not going in with the second town center at all, just going for something completely different. Chongqi managing to escape. Pioneers coming in. Pioneers are so strong. And you don't need to build another military building either. They can just come straight out of the temple. They build in 12 seconds. And then also stops any early counter raids coming through with this earth wall. I mean, this is basically the price of a town center here. Five Pioneers. So that's why I thought the eco was that way. He could also go for another town center later. This could be early aggression. The 3 Chongqis. 5 Pioneers. We'll look at it from Recon's perspective. We'll see what he does as soon as he sees these tigers. Obviously, decent amount of hearses need to come through. Nice building placement here to get the tempo up, get the house down. Nice bit of reaction time there to get the Berserk right back into the Healing Spring. These guys can just fire straight over the trees, and that's exactly what Kavoth's going to do. Might be able to get one, just gets one, and also can snipe down that house. And then these guys, yeah, set up the Sky Lanterns to see exactly what is going on. Trolls are going to be a good counter to the Chongqi, but they're going to go straight down to the Pioneers. I think they have the same range. They have the exact same range, so it'd be very hard to kind of outrange them. The low HP one is the most forward. Nice reaction time to get the boulder out, and this is it. The troll, he can't garrison either. 10 shots kills a troll. Wow. So if you have five Pioneers, watch, one Pioneer does go down. Pioneer for Scout, I think the Pioneer Scout for the troll, I think you'll definitely take that. Raiders coming in. Raiders going to be a very good answer to those annoying heroes. Now, what are these guys going to do? They're just patrolling. Villager advantage still in Kavoth's favor. Also, I mean, this guy as well is just ridiculous. Just trying to take down the towers before towers get set up and stop the food source coming in. So managed to stop this hippo, and also doesn't manage to get the chickens, forced onto berries, which are a little bit slower. Might, yeah, probably get husbandry out, so it boosts them slightly. So they're 0.76 rather than closer to 1 if he was to be getting the chickens with that upgrade there. Military advantage is definitely in Blue's favor here. Just constantly pumping out those units. See any upgrades for them? Oh, I missed a relic actually. Ranged soldiers get 5% extra bonus. So this attack is working even better. Play into the relics in the room. Have a look at some more of these relics. Mana hit points, not really going to help them. We got myth units cost less. That would definitely be worth it. But does he want to sacrifice one of his heroes to actually go pick that up? So many Chong-Chi. So basically just going, I'm not going to build any Quafus. Just going pure Chong-Chis there. Is there an upgrade for these guys? There is, but I can't see what it is. So a villager gets killed in 4 hits. So if you have 4 of them, they can essentially one-shot. You know, a lot of units here, and kind of hiding them out of the way, though. Definitely a good choice if you're trying to go for some pure military pressure of some kind of timing, rather than just the pure pressure. Sorry, if you're going for some kind of timing, you want to hide these guys away, and he is actually getting the counters to the raiding cavalry, which he has seen Recon is building. The Chong-Chi is just so annoying. What do you even do against this? One option is next age, because then you get Godi, which take these guys out of the sky. Those are the heroes for the Norse, the ranged heroes. But it just costs so much. Then you wouldn't have enough units to defend the army that's actually going to come through now. Kavoth does have the counter units here, especially if the Chong-Chi can actually get on the raiders. Looks like Kavoth saw that. I don't know if Recon did, and he's just ignoring it. The thing is, the Earth Wall is going to take some time to actually take out. So looks like we're going to have a bit of a kind of almost base trade situation here. Recon coming forward. So is Kavoth going to take this guy down instantly. If he can manage to get watchtowers up here, unfortunately these medium archers are going to go down. Temple's going to go down again though. Berserk getting taken down, and it looks like Recon's going to run away just because of the Earth Wall. This is the power of this Earth Wall here. And then Recon not managing to get his walls up in time. Chong-Chi forced back. Villagers having to escape the gold mine. Does have 300 gold in the bank to play with though, so it's not the worst situation. It isn't like he's out of gold. Units are going to get back eventually. Thing is, the blue army here, the Nuar army, is very slow, so these can get caught out by the raiders here. The raiders are going to do so well against all these archers. If you can pack right into the corner though, and get a decent kind of surround off, or anti-surround, a nice little ball here, and we're just going to have to see how it kind of goes. The Hersa needs to get onto those Chong-Chi that are just tanking, but it looks like the raiders are doing a pretty good job. We can see it's just an absolute equal fight. The halberdiers getting decent damage done. Are there many of those halberdiers though? Probably not that many. Valkyries spawn, and Recon, with his defenders advantage and his counter units there, does manage to pull away with that fight there. All of that value with those Chong-Chi is going down. That was the issue with the army. They're so slow. So when you're in, you are kind of committed. But eco-wise, it is in Kavoth's favor. He has the hero Quafu. He has he's got some good raids off. Now Recon wanting to come out, but the Chong-Chi is going to say no to that. Definitely. Hersa's trying to get forward, but they are very slow. They're not very slow. They do have their Hall of Thanes upgrade. Trying to get one off before, doesn't manage to get it. I think he's just dropped down as well, so doesn't actually have the special up yet. Does now though. But deciding to just bait in some halberdiers. But the halberdiers, yes, they are the counter, but there's not that many of them. Enough to scare them off anyway. Guess he could have just baited, had more halberdiers around the corner. We see Rashu coming through. No heroic age for Recon, just going the pure unit base instead. And we'll see where the next part of this game takes us. Both players have managed to get a gold mine. Neither of them are very well defended. Kavoth's one's slightly better because he has the Earth Wall to actually run into. Is this a town center, potentially? Forward town center? No. Armory, next stage. Expecting the heroic age there, and the annoying Fey Beast to come through. Fey Beast drop down straight away. If you run these guys away, the poison damage does so much, but they do get taken out very, very quickly. They're so low HP. Really nice play from Recon to actually pull them away in time. The heroes melt them too, but look how much damage there is. Only manages to take out 2, and then he can just sit in that healing spring. Does get 1 villager. Unfortunately, not the best Fey Beasts. Especially because of the healing spring. I mean, it's so much damage, but the healing spring comes in clutch here. But Baihu are in, and these are some of the strongest myth units that China has. They are ridiculous. Imagine an Anubite jump There is also some kind of CC knockback stun thing. It's absolutely just wild. They are so good. Chongqi trying to come through, get a little bit of information. Unfortunately, it does drop down with all those heroes there, so I think the Chongqi will be going down. I guess they don't have that much line of sight, so we didn't see that. Yeah, they don't have that much line of sight, but Special is back up. Godi will be able to come through when Bragi is in. And we have ourselves a bit of a mid-game here. Very, very close on the score. So even though Kavoth did lose his whole army there, he is also going in with Divine Judgment, which is the divine damage on his Dao Swordsman there. And the Dao Swordsmen are very, very strong when they get that upgrade. Medium Dao Swordsman also going in with the Chuko News to take out the hearses there. Does force Recon off of the gold mine. His gold mine in the main base only has 288, but did manage to save these. These guys being a little bit cheeky there. You just get one Baihu, one Chongqi. Baihu gets stuck, which means Kavoth's going to have to fight. Unfortunately for Recon, though it is stuck, he's going to struggle to jump back out. Flaming weapons in, but there is divine damage for these Dao Swordsmen. They've just got to be doing the damage. Really nice little choke point here. Also, Fire Archers not getting touched at all, but these guys, they're just not attacking properly. But the Fire Archers in the corner doing huge damage. Battleboard does spawn, and it looks like that is another favorable fight for Recon there, even with the nice choke point. Does get a little bit of flaming weapons timing. It's a shame that Kavoth didn't notice this one. Again, they just don't have the biggest line of sight. Do the Chongqis there, so just didn't manage to see it. But I mean, it's fair that they don't. They're broken enough anyway. It's absolutely fair that they don't. Yeah, only one military barracks or military camp, but he does have the extra training yard upgrade to make it work like two. So good choice if you don't want to build many buildings. Get that little upgrade in. Also, there is potentially the other upgrade for his Dao Swordsman. So Recon is definitely in the driver's seat now. He can go Mythic Age if he really wants to. It might be where he's gearing up to. He can grab town centers. He can just go for an all-out push. But he has cleared and wiped 2 armies there. But Kavoth does still have the economic advantage. It looks like he's going for a town center. Wonder if Kavoth will sniff this one out. Probably has enough of an army to stop it. But here's the rest of it. The rest of it's pretty scary. Baihu trying to scout around some gold mines. He'd do some decent damage as well if he managed to find a gold mine there. Getting more Baihu out. Getting more Dao Swordsmen. If there's aggression coming, Kavoth needs to be able to defend it. Otherwise, he'll just straight up lose. Second town center up. I imagine we'll see 190 population army going straight for the jugular, or some kind of Mythic Age, Nidhogg in, or Fimbulwinter, whatever he decides to go for. It looks like Kvoth is poking his head in, but again, he has a very, very slow army with these Dao Swordsmen. The Dao Swordsmen, yes, they are strong, but 3.8 speed is just not the one. And look at the amount of army here. It's a decent amount of heroes, actually. Does my hero hotkey work? No, but my other one does. I've changed it, so it actually works this patch. Looks like Kavoth is just going for a last-ditch effort, basically, just trying to get something done. But there's so many heroes that the Baihu just aren't going to get the damage done. But when you are behind, you've got to try something. Huge Einherry spawn there. It's going to get the big special off. And it looks like Recon with his defender's advantage is going to do this one. The Nuar army was surviving pretty well there because of these divine damage swordsmen. They have such good armor, such good health. It looks like they are going to go down there, and Recon takes this one. I liked the early aggro. I think maybe this was a little bit too far, but because they're so slow, it is kind of tough. And then the second fight was just the flaming weapons bait, something we've seen just time and time again. But again, slow army couldn't retreat. The really nice kind of choke point here, though, was good for those archers. If there wasn't the flaming weapons, I think that would have been the Nuar's fight there. But unfortunately, they didn't manage to win this one. So if they're doing another game, then I'll also watch that one. But if not, I'll see you in the next one.